Happy holidays, everyone. Happy holidays. And yeah, so we have. So yeah, honestly, it's pretty funny how going on social media and talking about going setting yourself up for 2026 for the new year. And I was just like, what's the 9 year cycle? I was like, okay, so 2017 was the start. 25 is the the coming to the terms of the for the ninth year, and 2026 is going to be year one. So I'm born in 1982, so that's I'm also Chinese and First Nations. So you're the dog, and right now, so 2025, is finishing up year of the snake, and talking or listening to other creators talking about how we're approaching the end of the cycle within 2025. And during 2000, I was looking back, thankfully looking back on Google, my Google Photos, and seeing the timestamps of everything, and looking back and reflecting on what was happening during that time. And, so 10 years ago, I was training out of my apartment after I left a big box gym. So and you keep bringing in all these people, all these clients, or all these working with clients one on one and everything. You're gonna have to stop doing this. I had a brand new gym, and I was the first external trainer to rent space there. The legalities of everything, if I said that correctly, and it definitely gave me that mindset of, okay, let's get into that business focused and work towards getting my own gym. And 2000, yeah, so going into 2017, I had looking for spaces and all that stuff, and that's 2017 was the that was the first part of the year one for Fighter Fit Athletics, and having the gym and going through all the lessons and successes and setbacks from that. So when I was looking into it from 2017 till now, and looking back at 2025, this past year, thankfully I had thankfully my family, they invited me to, they moved to the Cayman Islands, yeah, last year or so. And it was it was great just because it's been a definitely challenging since closing down the gym, and then going through, of course, going through the C word, and then trying to work with a couple of gyms in the past couple of years, and just not really gaining the traction that I was working towards. I think I just focused on work. Thankfully having my family invite me to the Cayman Islands to finally, to have that break from that constant strive to improve my work and to get back everything. And being in the Cayman Islands, that the first time it helped me out. And being during the C word, COVID, I was working towards online and how to approach or how to influence and to have a wider reach with my coaching and with the philosophy of Fighter Fit Athletics, and to really make that impact, that positive impact for people. It brought me out, it took me away, gave me that little breathing space to realize what I had to do, fine tune a little bit thing when it came back. And I went back three times in the past year. Then I stepped a little more towards going towards online, looking at online coaching, looking for business coaches, seeing what they're doing and how they're approaching their online, how they're approaching, really dive in and listen to these all 6 7 day or 6 7 hour webinars, live workshops, and just to really see uh, the opportunity that I can actually dive into with Fighter Fit Athletics going online, and now with our day one den inside the school group. The third time going visiting the Cayman Island, I was just like, you know what? On October 22nd, 2025, I'm going to hold my first Fall in Love with Fitness Summit series. It gave that breath of fresh air that I definitely needed, and to see that positivity into other coaches and how the dynamic and the workflow between us and, of course, the people that were attending, and after the positive influences after the fact. And that's what, looking back of 2025, and coming up with the day one den, by FIGHTERFITX for the school group or for the online coaching. The day one den, I talked about the naming before, but yeah, so like when I was looking back for the 2025 here, the Fighter Fit Athletics, the Fighter Fit. So the Fighter Fit quickly recap, Fighter Fit was actually when I was working at the big box gym, my fitness manager suggested I call one of my kickboxing class Fighter Fit. Like, all right, cool, I'm down with for Fighter Fit, fighter, having that background in kickboxing and also being, being fit, having that, like I always kind of say, like, yeah, I call it Fighter Fit because you have the the fitness of a fighter, but without being a fighter. And then when I was in the Cayman Island, my family, they had there was a painting on a wall, and it was black, a little bit black, a little bit gold and gray. All right, so just tying things into the numerology and to thinking back of 2025, and kind of releasing and having new beginning for year one in 2026. But yeah, she explores the numerological significance of 2025 and 2026. As a universal 9, 2025 is described as a time for cleansing and releasing outdated habits, relationships, or career paths to prepare you for the fresh energy of the coming year. I'll touch base a little more on this, but lessons I had to learn and to make sure that when I approach 2026 on my year one, I am that much stronger and not having all this baggage behind me weighing me down. Butcher that horribly. Sorry, give me a second here. So the primary action required is to surrender and let go. Rather than holding on to the past, you must release what no longer serves your growth. Okay, so what no longer serves your growth, which may include, right? So letting go of the past behaviors and actions that led me to certain points in the previous years that gave me a negative result. So I have to look back and reflect upon what I've done and what mindset I was in that space to create this outcome. Like, you have to let go of the negative, and you're not going to have more room for growth to learn and to become stronger or smarter or whatever it might be, because your teacup is already full. Forgiveness, but having that visualization and also to voice it and to express it to the creator, and to release that, right, instead of holding it inside. Use this time to reflect and realign, taking a look at what happened in 2025, what's going to happen in 2026, and making sure that everything that was holding me back or that was preventing me of growth, I got to release that. Use the energy of the year to gain deep clarity on what has been holding you back. But once you take me going to the Cayman Islands, was me allowing the water to set so I can take a reflection from that water, but also to see what needs to be done to gain that clarity, right? So having that clarity, and then once you have the idea and you feel great about it, then using that passion and energy that reignite what you want to achieve in 2026, capitalize on that. What do you want to change going into 2026 as a new chapter or a new book entirely? And of course, I didn't dive into this, but 2025 was Year of the Snake. Day one, Den, happy holidays. Okay, shed away those 10 pounds that I want to lose, right? And what do I want to gain in 2026?